fifth graders and families. Welcome to day 3. This text today was quite difficult. I heard from some of the kids on Zoom, and you guys have also been chatting with me through your parents' remind that I know that today was kind of tough, and that's exactly why I also wanted to wait to the end of the day to send out this video because I wanted you guys to struggle a little bit with it. Also, can't let the lesson start without telling you guys that I love you and miss you so much. Again, I've loved every second of catching up with you over Zoom, catching up and saying hi to your families over the last 3 days. It's been so nice to see your faces in your homes with your siblings, playing with them torturing you. I love it. So thank you, and I look forward to the next few days or weeks of seeing you and your families again on Zoom. Okay, we have a few little Zoom dates set up for tomorrow. So again, day 3, you should, at the bottom of your page, it should say page 18, and the name of the text is From When Stars Explode. And I know that author would have put the word from because it is an excerpt. We've talked about that word excerpt several times this year, and we know that it means a chunk of a text. I hope you guys said that before I did. So this text, When Stars Explode, would have been a longer text. Maybe it was a book and the author just chose a little chunk. Author Dr. Croswell. So I not only will go through the standards with you guys, I'm going to grab my camera and that phone for a second, and I'll come closer to the board, but you'll also see that we have some DSV right here, and I know that you guys know what DSV means. And there's going to be some that you guys have heard before from previous grades or from science class or some LDCs from earlier this year. And then there are going to be some that might be new to you, okay, that might be unfamiliar to you, okay? So we're going to go over that just a little bit. So let's go ahead and just start looking this way first. We still know that we have the same standard, which is focused on 5th grade, all right? But for this text, let me rewind. For the last few days, you guys have been determining just one main idea, and I bubbled around or clouded around where it says 2 or more because we're finally getting into our actual 5th grade standard, 2 plus MI, 2 or more main ideas. And it is an informational text. This text would be called or considered an informational scientific or an informational technical text. Let's see. We always have to support our main ideas with supporting details or key details, and we have to make sure that whenever we have more than one main idea, we have to make sure that each detail we choose is actually connecting to the main idea. It's kind of like a matching game when it comes to details. We can't have the wrong detail matching the wrong main idea. It's kind of like going into the wrong car at the end of the day. Think of that car as the main idea, and think of you and your siblings as a little group of details that support or that go with and that are related to that car, okay? You'll also be seeing some domain-specific vocab words, and I know that on, let's see, on the following pages, I'm just turning around to look, on page 32, that's where I would expect you guys to, or just kidding, I was looking at it upside down. On page 23, that's where, in that little chunk where you have to write, that's where you would use some of those DSVs. So let's look at this section right now. In the beginning of the year, we talked a little bit about a MIM, okay? A main idea map. Okay, and this is something kind of cool that my husband showed me when he did some studying from a long time ago that a professor showed him. So I kind of did a different version of that to make for you guys, okay? So whenever we are reading from paragraph to paragraph, which I know that you guys would number, but it's already numbered in your book, we ask ourselves, is it a new idea or is it the same idea as the one before? Okay. Whenever we look at a paragraph that has the same main idea as the paragraph before it, we're accustomed to doing a little arrow that swoops up to that previous paragraph. Okay. Also, when we go now from bigger to more focused and smaller, so from paragraph to sentence, we ask ourselves from sentence to sentence, is this detail an important detail? If it is, how do we text code that? We underline it. Is it an important detail, or is it just, and do the hand motion with me for this word, fluff? So is it, think paragraph to paragraph, new idea or same idea? Sentence to sentence, is it important or is it fluff? Cool beans. Oh, so cute. Okay, so now let's go ahead and look at these. Actually, I feel like I need my flashlight because in here it just feels so dark right now. Okay. I'm not even trying to be fancy. This is like the opposite of fancy. Okay, so, oh gosh, this is failing. This is failing hard. All right, so day 3, excerpt from When Stars Explode. All right, so some of these familiar domain-specific vocab words, you'll see galaxy and galaxies, telescope, astronomer, mass, the sun, which is always where the S is always capitalized. There's energy, and this is how throughout the text I'm going to be coding the word energy, okay, in my own little notes. I know you guys are accustomed to the word gravity, and then oftentimes these two words are used, but I don't want us to get confused with their meaning, okay? There's collapse and explode. Say that and repeat that with me. Collapse and explode. I did not put them side by side to show you that they mean the same thing. They certainly don't, but I'm putting them side by side because when the author uses them, I want to make sure that you don't get confused by their meanings, thinking that they are the same the way that the author uses them in this text. Okay, and here are some newer DSVs or domain-specific vocab words for you guys. There's supernova, and the plural or more than one supernova is supernovae or supernovae. Now, the author uses this and shows us in the text that supernovae is more than one supernova. But I wanted to also show you guys some other examples of plurals that can be kind of tricky, okay? So we have, I put them like on a weirdness scale, things that are familiar to unfamiliar. So you guys are accustomed, that's marker on my hand. You guys are accustomed to seeing words that end with a Y, where you just switch that Y to an IE and add on an S, or you might end up seeing where you just add on an S, okay? All right, and then you might see where we change an F or an FE to VES, like in leaf, leaves, knife, and knives. And then it gets even weirder, okay? For example, when you think of fungus, the plural is not funguses, it's fungi. Criterion, that's a word that we use very often. It's an example would be our TBQ criteria, which is plural for criterion, okay? And then there's supernova, which is found in this text, and supernovae. So let's keep on going. There's Antares or Antares, which is a red supergiant, a nuclear reaction. And then yesterday, which is kind of cool, you guys saw the word element in your text. When the author yesterday talked about how constellations were named after some everyday elements like hunters and bears and animals, that just meant regular everyday things that we're accustomed to, but he wanted to use a better word than things. In this case, as used in this text, the word element goes along with different elements or things that the world is made up of. Everything in the universe, okay? At the most basic form, all right? And when you guys get a little bit older and you take some more science classes, you'll see that's a way rough version, but you'll see something called a periodic table, which I've talked to you a tiny bit about inside class, but not that much. And some that they mention are hydrogen, helium, I know you know this one, oxygen, iron, and lithium. The author also takes a lot of time to tell us what light years are, and he also mentions light speed. Okay, cool beans. So let's go ahead. Oh my gosh, hi Henry. Let's go ahead and look at our text, all right? I'm actually going to break this up into more than one video where I'll just call the first part vocab, and this will get into the comprehension part, okay? Because I know it's going to be long.